season 5 finale. I'm your host, Alan Tracy.
And I am Rahana Power.
Season 5 is over. What do you think, Rahana? Huh?
I think that makes me feel old. That's what I think. Like, I don't know how it happened. Yeah. I'm confused as to how it happened. But I mean, it was a good year.
Yeah.
Good podcast year. Words are hard.
We're headed for season 6 next, but before we do, we kind of recap the year here and talk about the happenings, I suppose, kind of a state of the union, so to speak.
Yeah.
So we want to get an icebreaker going here, Rahana.
Rahana.
Tell us about something interesting and fun that you've done this year.
Just the worst fucking question.
We ask every guest this question.
I know, and I do it because I'm so intrigued, but I also I hate the idea of someone asking me that same question. But that's okay. Something fun, exciting. I got to travel this year, which was fun because it's something I love doing, and I obviously haven't been able to do it a ton over the last few years. Only a tiny bit. Like I have started traveling for work, which is fun, going to Colorado, which is a lovely, beautiful, fun place. I got to go to California again, to Santa Clara, and I haven't been to like Northern California in a very long time. So that was awesome, which was half an hour away from where I grew up. So that was pretty dope. I was a little sad that I couldn't just Uber there, but there wasn't time. Plus it would have been very expensive. But I was there. I got to go see Levi Stadium because I was staying like a 20-minute walk away, and it's beautiful. So that was amazing. The stadium's lovely. I got to go to the team store. Spent
nice.
a disgusting amount of money there. To have all of the Niners things. I got to go to California. I went to Texas for the most extravagant, fanciest wedding I will ever be able to attend. It was insane. I can't even, like, it was black tie, but it was like crazy, absolute 1000% black tie. Like, I don't know, in the movies. It was wild and amazing, and dressing up and stuff, just feel really pretty and fancy, and not like a poor person that wears Zubaz all the time, which I am. So it was kind of fun.
Same here. Not Zubaz, but yeah.
Right. But yeah, and then I got to go to Iceland, which was pretty amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, really, really beautiful. A lot of fun. Just an incredible experience. Although it was daylight. We were there in July. So it was daylight, like 21 hours a day. And the 3 hours of non-daylight was still daylight. Like, it was still, all the curtains were closed, and you could still see everything very clearly walking from the bedroom to the bathroom, without any issue. Like, it basically looked like it was maybe sunrise, and that was it. So that was a little difficult to get used to. Like,
right.
We would be up until like 11 and be like, we should get some dinner. Well, a little late for that. But it was such an amazing experience, and getting to go with friends and stuff is always fun. So yeah, I did that. I traveled a bit, which was lovely. How about you, Alan? Can you tell us something fun, exciting about you, or that you did this year, or about a skill or something, and all the cool stuff?
Yeah, I worked an event called what was it called? It was like WNS for Wild Rift North America series. So
what?
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah. But they need to compact it into 3 letters. So as any good event should.
Of course.
And I got into a game called Wild Rift, which is a mobile game. And then I got really into like Twitch and all the gaming stuff.
Hmm.
So that's been occupying a lot of time. a lot of fun on the gaming platforms. And I'm interested to see there's a lot of like gaming voiceover people on there and
Hmm.
people who obviously voiceover for games, but also actors too. And it's just kind of interesting to see like you can stream to a different audience like that. So uh, definitely not your YouTube level audience, but
That's all
a
right.
Twitch audience.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I got into gaming quite a bit. Life is Strange. I think that's a game you would like, actually.
So this is how little I know about games because Jared plays games, but I know nothing about them myself outside of my Switch and like my old school like Sonic the Hedgehog and Crash and
Wait, you have a
I
Switch?
oh heck yeah. And I have Harry Potter Lego and it's the best. But that's about my extent of gaming. But you just said the name of that and I thought you were just making a blanket statement and I was like, yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
Agreeing with you. What is that game? I'm
Well,
curious.
it's a series. It's kind of like you have superpowers in some of them. So it's more of a kind of a story-based role-playing game where your choices have consequences. So
All right.
you pick and it follows a certain storyline. So
Nice.
yeah,
Okay. I could
pretty
be into that.
simple. Yeah,
Yeah. Um,
can just explore stuff around and then
mhm.
eventually get to the objective or the story.
Yeah.
So
Is that like on Xbox or
yeah, it's on everything basically.
okay. Cool, 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 cool. Yeah, interesting. Have you played, I do know the one game,
It's on
12
Switch
minutes.
actually.
I have to finish Harry Potter first, Alan.
Well, then you can always go to Life is Strange if you're having trouble there. It's
That's true. Yeah. It's funny, I was actually playing the Harry Potter Lego game, and then all of a sudden I was like, you know what? I don't remember all of this, so I need to
watch the
rewatch the
movies.
movies. And I blew through them, and oh my gosh, I felt like such a nerd. I was so excited. It's like, fuck, I miss these movies. I forgot about this. Like the first one is, second one's okay, and then after that, I'm like, I am all in, and it makes me sad that there are people who aren't because I feel like they're wonderful and they bring joy to my life. Um,
What house are you again?
I don't know, Gryffindor, Hufflepuff. I have no idea.
You don't know, and you're like this big nerd
No,
about her. No.
yeah, I don't have to know because it
Okay.
doesn't matter. You
Kind
are
of.
the house that you want to be.
You could be Hufflepuff, maybe, or Gryffindor. I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'm like Harry Potter and I'm kind of both,
Well, he was half
and I have to
Slytherin,
pick.
so yeah.
But he was half Slytherin because there was a part of Voldemort in him because he was the final Horcrux.
Right, but
Spoiler alert.
the Sorting Hat does help you choose, though, even though you're
Yes.
mostly split. But you have to
Yeah.
kind of choose which house you're in, and
Yeah.
that kind of
It takes that into account.
determines. Mhm.
Yeah. So I'm indecisive, so that's why I can't.
You still have the Sorting Hat on. So
Yeah,
okay.
exactly. That's just my everyday attire at this point.
Yeah.
Trying to figure it out in life. Um, but yeah, have you played that 12 minutes game
What's
with
that?
James McAvoy and Daisy Ridley and William Dafoe?
Ooh,
It's really
what's
good. So
this?
it's very intriguing. It can get frustrating because it's literally 12 minutes. It's timed, and there's this it's a scene that's playing out, and you make decisions and do things, and as you do in a game,
Uh-huh.
and you're actually looking at the whole scene from above.
Okay.
And that's it. And they're playing it out. You're making decisions, things are happening. And at the end of that 12 minutes, uh, William Dafoe's character essentially is coming in and attacking them. It's a couple. James McAvoy and Daisy Ridley are a couple, and
Huh.
you have to solve this puzzle and figure out why and how to get out of this cycle because James McAvoy knows that everything is happening over and over and over again. And so he's kind of losing his mind. He's like, what's going on? And he's trying to tell her. And she's like, what are you talking about? And they're getting in a fight and all this stuff is happening and you have to figure it out. Is really, really good.
I'll look into this.
Yeah.
It's a mobile game?
No, it's I know Jer has it on Xbox. It's actually really interesting. It's coming out on Netflix to play. I don't know how that's possible.
Oh, kind of like Bandersnatch with what was that, Black Mirror or something, I think. Yeah,
I don't know what that is, but sure.
It has choices where you pick and the show kind of goes based on your choices.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so then yeah. I'm assuming that's how they're gonna do it. We just saw a trailer for the game on Netflix on their YouTube channel the other day. So it's
try Bandersnatch and see if you like it, because that's kind of the first implementation of like a game story based like movie kind of. Although I get stuck in a death loop and I was just like, oh,
so did James McAvoy.
Well, this one went on for hours and it was just like, stop, I'm done watching this.
Yeah. But yeah, I think you'd like that. I think everyone would like that. Anyone who plays any type of game, you should play that because it's interesting.
Good to know.
And intriguing. Yeah.
I will report back.
Plus, who doesn't love those three?
Oh, it's Annapurna too. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had another game out recently. What was it? It was another like story-based game. Oh, Stray. I played that. It was about a cat.
Oh.
So you play a cat in this futuristic world where the world went to shit. So.
Ooh. Okay. Tangent. We're going off on a tree limb here. So you just mentioned futuristic, which made me think of this, which is actually opposite direction. But I just saw a poster. I don't know if the actual trailer's out or not. I have to Google this after we record. But there is a movie coming out with one of my favorites, who I may have a giant crush on, Adam Driver, called 65. He looks amazing in the poster and the screenshots. I'm just gonna say it's screen grabs. Anyway, but it's called 65, and it's apparently, I don't know if this is totally true or not. I was just reading tweets about it, but where he gets sent back 65 million years in the past, and I think he's basically like causing the extinction of the dinosaurs. So it's like a mixture, some review said of like Jurassic Park and something else. I can't remember what else now, which is not helpful for the podcast, but it looks interesting and he's amazing and can do no wrong. And so I'm all in. And again, if you look at the poster, he looks really good. So that's all I'm going to say about that. But yeah, that just made me think of that. I'm really excited for that movie to come out. I love Adam Driver almost as much as John Oliver does. Like
he does.
I was really hoping you would get that reference because you love John Oliver. John Oliver has a bit where he's obsessed with Adam Driver and like in like a
not in the new season,
a weird way. Well, there's always like one episode a season where he'll like do it. He'll like have a picture of Adam Driver up and
the man crush like some
really like
because he like snaps and it goes to him or something. Or yes. Wait, no, that's Clooney. No,
but essentially, yeah, like he'll make some really intense sexual remarks about him. And then all of a sudden there was one episode where he did that and Adam Driver showed up on video and was like, man, you got to stop. You have to stop, man. And it's really funny. But anyway, so that's a bit. And I was hoping you would get it and you didn't. And I had to explain it and now it's ruined and it's recorded for everyone to hear. I'm not funny. It's fine.
Which is funny. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. I'll check out a few things here.
Do it. But speaking of movies, you did a movie this year.
Yes.
You made a movie.
A short film.
Tell us about that. Tell me about it, Alan.
Dana versus Judy. Still working on the tagline. Yeah, what's a good tagline now that I give you a little sneak peek because I needed some consultation. So
You are making a giant assumption that I would be good at coming up with a tagline, sir.
yeah. Well,
Um,
it's worth a shot. You never
I,
know.
I feel like you should know me better than
Take a
that at this
shot in the
point.
dark there.
Uh, um, I don't, I, I, I don't
It's
know.
okay.
I
Don't worry
honestly
about it.
don't.
We're working on that for our
Yeah.
festival run. So yeah.
Dana versus Judy. Can you figure it out? Um, I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Uh,
As the name implies, it's a fight. So
mhm.
um who wins? Who wins is really maybe that's it. Huh?
Ooh, yeah. I like that.
There we go. Workshop it right here. Yeah, so we made a film.
Hmm.
It's finished. It's completing because there's a lot of technical stuff that goes into it. But
Right.
as you know, with streaming or whatever,
Of all
uh,
the things.
yeah, good lord, they've made a mess of it. It's just kind of like how many streaming app platforms do you need to go to? It's like it's maybe good
Hmm.
for a minute, and then the next thing's out,
Right. No,
the next
absolutely.
knives out. You know,
I just rewatched that because it's so amazing. Also, I mean, the cast, I just fucking cast. But I also love Chris Evans too much. Um, but the new one looks so interesting and I'm so excited. It is Leslie Odom Jr., whom I'm obsessed with. Anyway, continue. Dana versus Judy. Sorry, super big tangent. Got to take my ADHD or yeah, ADHD meds. Didn't do it today. Continue.
and yes, that's it. I've been
um,
speaking the whole time. You didn't hear it. No, I'm just kidding.
it's always possible. We did interview a few people from the movie. We entered to
Oh
in
yeah, yeah.
Lord
Kyle.
interviewed. Yep, both Dana and Judy,
Yep.
and then Lee, who is in it.
Lee.
He was on. So
Just get all
yeah.
the people. Yeah,
Hmm.
everyone.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
that
so
was really cool.
they will be seeing it as soon as possible, hopefully, and then Rahana, get you got the sneak peek. So
Woo!
just because we're filming in Minnesota, I mean,
Exactly. Yeah. I'm supposed to get the we get the sneak peeks of all the films, and it's your
yeah,
film, so I get the sneak peek of your film, and that makes
yeah,
sense. Yes. I feel like that's how things should go. So checks
yeah.
out.
It's kind of daunting as a filmmaker, just kind of the
Hmm.
I'm sure the same for actors too, but um I guess actors can move from project to project more.
If they're
Whereas
lucky.
yeah, right. True. Um whereas like filmmakers you are going from project to project, but um you're having to create each instance, you know.
Hmm.
Otherwise there is no film or there is
Hmm.
no content to make. So it's
Yeah. You're more heavily involved throughout the full process
yes.
versus your portion of the process, and then moving to whatever your next project is or your next endeavor life um and then being able to come back and see the final product,
And then run that
whereas
gauntlet all the way through festival
right,
series and then
yeah.
distribution, if any, and finally, who knows where it ends up, especially short
Hmm.
films. I mean,
Right.
but the end game, as I kind of mentioned, I think JK Productions asked that question, or someone did,
Hmm.
about like what's next for the film. And it was kind of like, well, it's supposed to lead to a feature. So we're banking it
Hmm.
for like crowdsourcing so people can invest in the feature
Sure.
film
Hmm.
when we get to that point. So,
Yeah.
but I
Have
kind of
you
want to do volume two before I do. So we have two options, for fundraising, so people
hmm
can get a copy of the film.
yeah, have you started even if not like physically writing, but like mentally writing or working on the feature script and plot and storyboard and all that?
Yeah, the concept is there. I'm closer on the second short film for Dane, like the Dana character, which it revolves around. And that's
Hmm.
been a Z Fest character from Z Fest 4. That's
Wow.
where that Dana character originated.
Holy crap.
Yeah. So I've been hanging on to that baby for a while. So
Hmm. No kidding. Yeah,
it's,
that was a minute ago.
yeah, it's just, by the time the feature's made, maybe 10 years later.
Right.
So
I
yeah,
mean, that's what happened.
that's kind of like the fear is that like it won't ever get made, maybe, or
Hmm.
people won't see your work. That's the other thing. It's like
Yeah.
you want people to actually see it. And sometimes it's like, what's the best route? Do you just put it on YouTube, or do people not even
Yeah.
care that it's on YouTube and no one
Hmm.
watches it? So it's like, eh,
Yeah, it's tough.
it's hard to promote
Um,
your own stuff. And then that's why we talked about Mythic Quest, you and I, but I
hmm
found out we're not talking about
Well,
the same
yeah,
episode.
we tried to talk about Mythic Quest. It did not work. Yeah, I was talking about the Doc and Beans episode in season one with Mr. Nick Miller himself
Uh-huh.
and Miss How I Met Your Mother herself. And you were not talking about that episode. What episode were you talking about?
CW's episode in season 2. So we were on
Hmm.
the different seasons also.
Yeah,
But
that didn't help.
anyways, the reason I brought that up was because he's like this failed writer. Like, and I think about that as kind of the fear of a filmmaker. Same with writers probably too. It's just that you're not good enough, or no one's going to see your work, or no one's going to
Hmm.
think of you as, anything better unless you steal someone else's work. That's
Hmm.
basically what he did. Um, so yeah, it was kind of that type of fear is that kind of that's a good empathy moment for me, is just kind of like, yeah, is anything I'm doing good enough? It's
Hmm.
like I think everyone feels that way in some sense, no matter what they're doing.
Yeah,
But
I was say I mean actors definitely feel that.
right,
Um, for sure. And that's why, you know, everyone is their own worst critic. So
right,
even if you're getting, I mean, probably unless outside of like Quentin Tarantino and Steven Spielberg and all those, David Fincher and all those people. But, I'm sure even they have moments of, I mean, I hope people like this because fuck, uh, or projects that no one ever hears about or sees because they're just like, nope, this is not, I'm not comfortable putting this out there or something, like
right.
it's everyone goes through it. And
I think that's part of the fear too, is putting yourself out there. That's a good point,
hmm
because
yeah.
it's like, as an actor, you always have to put yourself out there, and then you
Hmm.
never get like, kind of like interviewing for a job. I think normal, regular people would relate to. So just
Yeah.
like that's basically what auditioning is. So
Yeah. Being like your real, like you have to bring your actual like self and vulnerability
mhm.
into that room and into that character. And that's scary. A lot of people can't do that. A lot of
Right.
people go to therapy for years to try to be able to do that just in real life.
Oh,
So, and with like anyone.
right.
So, I mean, it's a lot. And then the idea of doing that and fully putting yourself out there and then being told, no, we're good. Even though it 99% of the time has nothing to do with you and what you just did and anything that you can even remotely control. But like you were just saying, that's not what's in your head, in
Right.
your head. I mean, unless you're very emotionally and mentally well balanced and healthy, in which case, yeah, you're good. But for the rest of us, it's definitely, I mean, it's a fear for sure.
But
Um,
then you also have to promote yourself, self promote yourself in a way
mhm.
that's like, quote, selling yourself or being marketable, quote unquote. It's
Yeah.
like these words are like for products, not people. But at the same
Yes.
time, it's like, who's promoting you? It has to be you.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like, damn. And that's kind of why we have the podcast, is to help people do that without
Yes.
like needing to, I don't know, do that, I guess,
Yeah,
So,
in a comfortable and safe environment, because I think that
yeah.
I mean, there are obviously definitely people in this field um, across the country, across the world, that are have that like piece of salesy promotion, like um, ego, whatever, where they can do that and they love it and they're good. But I feel like we have heard from, and you can even go and see interviews from like very highly paid, successful filmmakers and actors and all of that
Yeah.
saying, this is my least favorite part. I absolutely hate this. I hate having to promote. I hate having to interview. I hate having to do all of this. Um,
Hmm.
and I think that that's something that a lot of people struggle with, even though it's without that, it's you made a movie, but that it's kind of done after that. And is it going to be seen? Is it anything going to happen with it? Um,
Yeah. And then you
and
have
so
like
yeah.
Avatar 8 coming out, it's like,
Oh, I
what's
have
gonna
so many thoughts about that.
you have to
So
compete with that too. That's the other thing. It's like,
yes, yeah.
or 80 Marvel films, it's like
I
you're
know.
not going to be able to compete with that, or Star Wars or
No.
something.
Yeah, exactly. And so having this like safe place for especially people in our community, I think to like come and just chat with us. Because we're just random people. Like,
Yeah.
look at us, like we're simple, like I look terrible, and this is what people get to see whenever they record with us. And so I think that helps them gauge how like down to earth this certainly is. But I mean, I feel like we've heard from a lot of people that even though they're uncomfortable talking about themselves, in the end, they're
Mm.
really comfortable and they're happy that they did it and got to have like real conversations about this and not feel like they were selling or pushing and like all that kind of stuff,
Right.
and felt comfortable uh
Right.
and appreciative. And I think that that's exactly what we want. That's the whole purpose. That's the point.
Yeah.
Outside
And
of me
yeah.
getting to just throw out horribly random, angry uh, TV and movie reviews for no reason, which I always do.
You and Becca should get along just fine. It's like
Yeah,
you can both rant about it together. I think that's the new
absolutely.
sub genre here for or sub podcast, I
Yeah,
suppose,
we'll have mini podcasts in
or
between.
blogs or whatever.
I love
The
it.
Bill
Yeah,
Burr thing, right?
but yes, exactly.
The Monday, whatever Bill Burr does, yeah. Uh, also, like, have you noticed how hard it is to get money for films?
Uh, I've I have not had to get money for films before, but I have definitely uh, donated. Is that the right word?
Mhm.
I've tried to assist
Good for you. Yeah.
for some of my friends' films before. To the point where one time I was like this one filmmaker friend of mine, like she had raised all this money. She was so close to like
Oh,
doing this huge project of hers, and she only needed like a certain amount more. And I was like, you know what, fuck it. And so I maxed out my credit card, making that
oh my
payment,
God.
like that donation, and so that she could hit it. It was I That was not the smartest financial move
Oh my God.
on a 20 something year old's,
Uh-huh.
route in life. But at the same
Oh,
time, there are a million things I very well may have spent that on that would have been
yeah.
just, I don't need, it doesn't matter.
Well, you have to name
And
that
that was
film
something.
now.
Honestly, I don't even remember. It was a long time. I mean, it was probably uh
Don't
12
say
years
it.
ago,
Don't even. Okay.
something like that. 11 years ago, I don't even know. No, like 12. It had to have been 12.
I have to
But
know what this film though. I want to see what you invested in. You're part of the creation of that film.
I
So
just, yeah, I mean,
I'm gonna look
even if
you
I'm
up.
not
They have to have
partaking,
named you, right?
I highly doubt it. Highly,
What?
highly doubt it.
You
And
put
I
in all
don't
that
think
money?
they should have. I don't think they needed to.
Okay.
Um,
Well, you're anonymous donor.
yeah, I may have actually been
Oh,
until this moment when I'm claiming the thing for no reason whatsoever. Um, but
yeah,
like
it's
I
hard,
think
right?
so yeah, I haven't had to get money for films before, but I have a lot of friends who have, and so when I'm able to, I have tried to, at least you just kind of do what you can.
Right.
Because it's so hard. And it's like, that's one of the biggest complaints. I shouldn't say complaint. It's not a
Right.
complaint. Biggest struggles that all filmmakers on our podcast for the past 5 years have said, like that and locations and timing. But like the money is the biggest struggle. So,
Because that would free up schedules and locations if you had money, right?
yeah,
Because you can
that would give you so many options.
buy Twitter if you wanted, had money. I mean,
Jesus. Yeah, that's going to be another
Reddit on our
thing.
podcast. Yeah. We'll start our blog section on our website for Rahana so she can just have a rant corner for basic things. I don't know. Anonymous.
Rants. Yeah, I'm in for that. Let's do it. Why not?
No, we're not going to turn it into Twitter. We'll just have a Rahana corner. Rahana rant. There it is. Double R.
Rahana's rants.
Yeah.
I'm all for it. I've got a list.
I would rant about like money problems. Yeah, for raising, capital for film, and I understand investors, but at the same time, it's like you just don't get it.
Yeah, and
money is not legacy like content is. It's like that's your mark that you leave. It's not how much money you saved or made.
No.
It's what you really left behind. So
exactly. And you don't want to have some big investor that may potentially force your hand in making decisions for the film that you do not artistically feel are beneficial or are right to make, or changes and things like that. And I don't know that would happen in smaller films. But I mean, you hear about it, it happens, and that's horrible.
Which brings me to Minnesota Film Alliance.
Woo!
Speaking of which,
yeah,
do you like that we have a tax credit and rebate in Minnesota? Well, the Minnesota Film Alliance is trying to be our collective voice for that. So it's basically a lobby for film in Minnesota, like not our podcast, the actual act of film in Minnesota.
The actual things.
Yeah. So we have a link to that in our Connect part of our website. Just click on that. You'll see the logos of all the things around town. We keep adding to it as much as we can on the website. So feel free to check that out. Become a member. So this year they're trying to do a few things. One, eliminate the sunset clause, which is only good for 4 years. So you get 4 years and then we'll decide if we want to keep it or not. That's kind of a sketchy solution to sustainable film careers here.
Yeah.
Or film and TV. And also increase the cap amount per year. Right now, we're only at 5 million per year. And that is basically a fraction of what feature films actually produce under. It's like 10 million and up, like Andrew. We had Andrew on just kind of talking about like, why did he go to Portugal? Well, because Minnesota can't sustain a tax credit that can hold that feature film, for instance. So it's like, come on, guys, let's like bring the millions of dollars in like Portugal. So, or billions, because it's a lot of money. But I guess I understand Minnesota has a lot to deal with, but at the same time,
this is important and it could be huge.
People are leaving the state to go to these higher paying jobs elsewhere, like Georgia, like California, like New York, like Chicago even. So it's just being competitive in that space where we bring in higher paying jobs, not just McDonald's jobs. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Just, but careers, basically, not just jobs.
Exactly.
And that includes like actors too. So being able to do that. I think also the alliance is made up of us. So it's like, it is our voice. It's a call to action is to join the alliance, join the Rebel Alliance,
Yeah.
Rahana.
It's volunteers, it's people in the industry.
Yep. So as low as $100 to become a member annually. So that goes towards lobbying for film here with our legislature. And now that we have a certain legislature in place, this is the time for us to act. So hopefully we can at least eliminate the sunset clause. That would be great in order to keep it here, keep film running, set up a film commission as every other state does. For some reason, Minnesota didn't when they first set it up. I don't know why. I guess I don't know. I wasn't there for the 80s. I don't know why they did that way. It worked then, but it doesn't now. So
right.
Yeah, just getting involved. If you want to get involved in the fight for film here, that's how you do it. Join Minnesota Film Alliance. Link in at the website.
Do it. And I honestly, I feel like we've had so many people on that would be really great advocates and voices for that. So,
right.
Seriously, everyone, go and if you feel strongly about this, which a lot of you do, join the alliance.
Yeah.
Do the things. That was not the only event that you attended this year, though.
We attended.
Yeah, I attended too, which is more than normal because I have social anxiety and don't go places. But you attended a bunch.
Let's see. How did the year start? It started with kind of Z-Fest. I think it
started like 6 years ago.
Yeah,
I don't know anymore.
Jesus, which event? No, I guess because I think Z-Fest was put off a little bit. I forget when it happened. The Besta Fest, whatever, was in April and then May. But also around the same time was MSPIF. So that festival or international festival here. And we got to see a little film that also had some financial and a lot of crazy stories that came out of that called Emily the Criminal.
Which was awesome.
Yeah. And I'm so glad that we got to see it here at our festival and got to speak to the director of that. And maybe one day Aubrey will be on the podcast.
I can only hope. Now that it's like coming out everywhere.
She's too big now. She's too famous.
I mean, she totally is. But for me, she was too famous when she was on Parks and Rec. But yes.
Yeah, true.
But I mean, you're seeing that movie come out all over the place. I don't remember if it's the HBO or Netflix. Maybe it's both. I don't even know. But I mean, it's out everywhere. And now I'm seeing, like I saw people or some like other podcasts on Twitter, like mention, hey, this episode is Aubrey Plaza talking about Emily the Criminal. And it's awesome. And I'm so jealous that we didn't get her, but someday.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a great film, and getting to talk to the writer director was really, really cool. Really interesting.
Yeah. Hearing all his stories about it and talking about Aubrey too. And it was just kind of like, oh, interesting.
Yeah. And even he ran into like money struggles when it came to making this big film with some big names. So, I mean, that just kind of reaffirms that that's not just a Minnesota issue.
Right. So even if you have Aubrey Plaza, you'll have struggles. And I'm like, damn,
Yeah. That's okay.
I guess other events, we went to the Twin Cities Film Festival.
Yeah, recently, which was awesome.
Yeah. Who'd we talk to there? Who'd we talk to?
I mean, I didn't talk to anyone, but you did. I talked to Jason Schumacher because I ran into him, and that was awesome. We did get to talk to Mr. Bridges, Mr. Beau Bridges.
Yeah.
Which was amazing. He's just like the nicest, sweetest man.
Yeah,
That was so wonderful. And finding out like he mentioned his daughter had gone to school here and loved it. And so he's got this big connection, like emotional
the
connection to Minnesota. And
the
it's
U
just
of M. Yeah,
yeah, it warmed my heart. That was really cool.
and he was filming a feature film here in Minnesota also. So
Hmm.
hopefully we can get that filmmaker on when they're done with the craziness. I
Hmm.
know, we know how it goes with making a film.
Yeah.
Yeah. So stay tuned for that in season 6, hopefully.
Yeah, no
Uh,
kidding.
we might still
Um,
be here. We might still be here.
I mean, I hope so. We hope
Yeah.
so. Uh, but yeah, we did that. And then, I mean, there were a lot of, um, other filmmakers who had films at the festival who we had the, opportunity to interview, which was really cool as well.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
really
So,
loved
like,
that.
gosh, yeah. I'm just thinking back to like all the feature films we talked about this year, and from
Hmm.
Dark Cloud to The Infernal Machine, Emily the Criminal. It's just
Hmm.
like all these different films. I'm just kind of like, and
Yeah.
The Harbinger.
Hmm. There
Um,
were so many.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
surprised that like this is the year where a lot of it came out after the pandemic. Everything was kind of on
Yep.
hold, held back, I guess.
Yeah. And it was interesting hearing everyone's, because almost, I think all of, or almost all of these films ran into delays or whatever because of the pandemic. So it was interesting
Hmm.
hearing everyone's take on how that affected their project specifically, because everyone's
Right.
a little different. Everyone's at a different pace and at a different point when that happened. Some were literally supposed to start filming the next day and it happened, and some
Yeah.
were still in like the planning phase and they were just planning on doing it, but COVID lasted 17 years and is still going. So I mean, there are different. It was interesting hearing that range of experience.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. We've had a lot of guests, 23-ish plus one, well, like a lot of multiple ones also, 23
Yeah,
episodes, but yeah,
yeah,
including episode 100.
which is pretty wild. When you think about the fact that we have 24 episodes in a year, I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Also makes me feel old, but uh, it's that was a big milestone. And it's funny, I don't know about you. It hadn't even occurred to me that we were coming up to that we were gonna at any point hit that or hit any like number
No,
specific
me
length.
neither.
It was really cool, like having that feeling of like, holy shit, we've had at least almost 100 people. I mean, during the pandemic, we had some episodes just ourselves, which were fun. But almost 100 people like want to actively talk to us and chat and allow us to just throw a ton of questions at them. All of them allowed me to ask them the question that I hate being asked about, a unique or special talent or fun, cool thing about themselves. And we've had some great answers. So, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, we've had some fantastic, fantastic guests.
That says something
Um,
good about you then too, that you made them feel comfortable enough to come up with something, and we've made that space
well,
for them, like you said. So
yeah, hopefully they didn't like sign off and just be like that mother
yes,
Rahana. You never
that's
know. Maybe they
exactly
did.
what they said. No,
Hey,
I'm just
you
kidding.
don't know. But yeah. So I mean, hitting 100 was pretty special. But
Yeah.
what was your like internal thought and experience with that once you realized it?
Well, yeah, when I was editing an episode, I think, and I posted, I think it was like 97 or 98, somewhere in there. I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, we're coming up on 100. It's like, because I have to put the number in for like our
Oh,
main post,
mm-hmm.
but
Yep.
I don't have to for iTunes or something because they keep count on their own.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just kind of like, oh, are we? Then I brought it up to you, and it was like, oh,
Like, holy shit.
right. Because I think,
Crazy.
yeah, we were pretty much on 99. And it was like, because we did a lot of recordings all at once, kind of,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
then it stacked up. So
Yeah. As seasons get busy, I mean, that happens, but
summer, especially, yeah.
yeah.
Oof.
hmm But yeah, it was pretty awesome. So I mean, you have a movie that you're finishing up and will be coming out in some degree soonish.
Hmm.
And we did so much this year with events and getting to see movies and getting to talk to so many amazing people about themselves and about um their specific projects in movies, and got to got to get a sneak peek on a few movies, which was really fun and cool because they were awesome. Love getting to do that, to experience that. But what what's next for you, man? Like what are you doing?
Well, getting ready to promote Rahana for anyone's Z Fest film right now. First, anyone, please hire Rahana right now for an
You
acting
guys,
position.
Alan's sick of me.
I'm your hype man. So,
You are. I clearly can't do it myself, so
nor should you. So the work speaks for
there we
itself,
go.
people.
I'll take it. I like it.
Yeah, or voiceover, whatever you need. She'll do it. So
I
there you
have
go.
thought about that.
Yeah.
Jessica, who was on season 2 or 3, I believe,
Hmm.
is a coach for voiceover and does that I mean, full time, very successfully, and she's great at it.
Right.
And so I've certainly thought about taking like lessons from her and trying to get into it because I think that would be really fun.
Yeah.
Um,
And get into like
and
gaming
interesting.
voiceover, like Mythic Quest, like the way they do it.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Yeah. Did you
Yeah.
know Ashley Birch on there, who plays Rachel?
hmm
Uh, she voiced for like games like Life is Strange,
hmm
Horizon. There's a lot of games, and now she's
Really?
in like a show about games. It's so
Which
cool.
is cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really neat. I did not know that.
Yeah. That's the other
Okay.
tie, I guess, for Life is Strange for You, which is available for the Switch. So
Okay.
check that out.
I will. I'll have to throw that on
I
the
just keep
Christmas list or
promoting that out
something.
there for everyone. Yeah.
I
But
like it.
yeah, what's next is for me, the next short film. I don't think it can be a Z Fest film just because it's more based in summer and we're in winter, so it's kind of like
Yeah.
not the right vibe for it. Plus, it's winter. I'm kind of in hibernation mode, so it's kind of like writing or editing mainly. So
hmm
that's I've been working on some lightsaber stuff, so
Yeah. Yep.
um, I need to get motivated to get back into visual effects right now to do that. But then, yeah, that's what I've been kind of up to right now during the winter months.
hmm
I'm kind of excited for our future here because it's like, yeah, maybe we can make this work in Minnesota. Maybe there's something bigger that can be had here that no one
Yeah.
sees yet. It's a blue ocean, as they say. So,
hmm
uh, yeah, so no one else like see the potential where no one else can because they're all in Georgia, they're all in LA
Right.
and all that. And it's like, those are red oceans. This is a blue ocean. It's kind of open road for us. So
hmm
that's
Yeah.
kind of my hopefulness for film. Yeah, here, the
I
podcast.
love that. What's next for you in just in life?
In life.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean,
I
film is
thought about
the
moving to
core, but
California. I really have. I know a
how
lot of
dare
people.
you?
How
I'm just
dare I?
kidding. I'm just kidding.
Because it's
I'm just
like
kidding.
you want to do the full time, you know,
Yeah.
film work. You don't want to do, I don't know, work that isn't film.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know obviously we talk to people here who are making it happen
Yeah.
from composing to editing to you name
Everything.
it.
Yep.
But yeah, I guess I don't know. I'll leave that up to 23. So 2023,
I like
we'll
it.
see where it goes. How
I
about
mean,
you?
as long as
What's
this
next for
continues
Hana?
happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. um, honestly, no, nothing, nothing. Trying to just relax, take care of, my mental health, and
Hmm.
enjoy, um, try and like enjoy life and things, you know?
Right.
I don't really have anything big on the horizon, and I'm pretty okay with that for now.
Hmm.
Um, I do miss acting. I will note that. Um,
Noted.
but yeah,
Duly
but
noted.
duly noted. But and I mean I've been thinking about the whole voiceover aspect and everything because I think that would be really cool. I have no idea if I'd be good at it, but it'd be fun. Um, but yeah, I'm just kind of trying to slow down because I think the past few years have just been really, really fast and nonstop, and so much is happening, and a lot of it has been very stressful. And so, just trying to slow down a little bit and
Hmm.
to Ferris Bueller it, take a look around and not
Hmm.
miss things as much. So
Gotcha.
that's kind of where I'm at. And just get through winter, which I hate so much.
Why are we here? Why are
Yeah,
we here? You might
yeah.
ask.
Working from home helps, but still.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah. So I think that's really all that's coming up for me. Which is not to say that things won't happen, but
So Z-Fest
yeah.
filmmakers, you hear that? She's available.
Do you hear that? She has no life. Uh, um, uh, yeah, but I am available.
You do. You work a lot though. You really do.
I do work a lot, which is
Yeah.
something that I did change jobs this year. Uh,
Mm.
Same company, different team and everything. And I think that that's helped a lot with that work-life balance, which has been really nice. Even when I do work extra, I'm doing it because I'm excited about whatever project I'm working on, and I'm genuinely enjoying what I'm doing, and I'm wanting to like finish it and keep adding to it and stuff, which is it's a pretty cool feeling.
That, yeah.
Um,
That's
yeah,
what you should everyone strives for, I guess. Yeah.
exactly. And everything, that I'm doing, I mean, now and even in my previous position is um, specifically to help, the climate, help combat, uh, you know, climate change and zero emissions and all of those goals and things. And so that feels pretty good too, because it's something I feel really strongly about. And so I think that definitely helps as well. But yeah, the work-life balance, trying to get that and get that in gear. But yeah, it's been busy. Watching a lot, trying to catch up on movies. So
Yeah.
Jared and I used to, before the pandemic, we were the people that like anyone that wanted to know how a film was, they would just ask us because we saw 1 to 2 movies a week. Like we were always seeing movies. And I mean,
The
since the
it
pandemic,
couple.
yeah, exactly. Since the pandemic, I mean, that obviously slowed down, and now we just haven't really, so much is on streaming on all the different streaming services that our queues are just never ending. And so there's a lot that we haven't seen stuff. So I think trying to kind of catch up on some of those big
Right.
specific like films and shows that we've really wanted to see will be a thing
See,
here
that's
during winter.
yeah, that's like there's so many, yeah, which is good for winter, I think,
Yeah,
because you can slow down and just enjoy a bunch of movies and shows.
exactly. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, if anyone has like some really big recommendations for movies that you're listening and you're like, oh, this should be like one of the top 5 movies that you see this winter. It's very possible I have not seen it. Maybe I have, but probably not. So go ahead and throw it out there. Let us know. Let me know. Because I don't want to miss things. But yeah, that, and then I know we were talking about this earlier, but rewatching New Girl for like the 5th time. Because it's just the most amazing thing. So doing things like
Did
that.
do you like own it, the whole series, or
No, it's on Netflix.
oh,
Although the moment that it's going to be taken off, I will be purchasing it. I still have to get Parks and Rec. We bought The Office. I
yeah.
refuse. These are the shows that like I've watched a million times and will always watch and never get sick of. And
See,
so
like your New Girl is like my Frasier, for instance. Like I don't watch New Girl, you don't watch Frasier, so it's like that.
Frasier,
Yeah.
what? I'm so confused. I have so many questions for you.
That's the one I watch all the time versus like you watch New
Interesting.
Girl all the time, right?
I can honestly say I don't think I've ever met someone who watches Frasier ever.
You probably have, they just never admitted
I well,
it.
there, yeah, that's entirely possible. That is so
That's something
interesting.
you don't admit to out loud, Alan.
Yeah, especially on a recorded podcast, for all to hear. No, but interesting. I will say that you should absolutely watch New Girl because I think you'd like it. It's fun. It's hilarious. The character development and structure is really, really well done. And they're the way that they work together and interact and everything. Um, it's a good, fun show. And I will say it a million times. I am a very specific combination of Jessica Day and Nick Miller. And if anyone's confused about that, then you just don't get it. And if you don't
I don't
believe
get
me,
it. Yeah.
then you don't know me very well. Okay, well, it's because you haven't seen it. Can you just commit to watching like the first half of the first season for me? So 12 episodes, they're
First
like
half of the first
20,
season.
they're
Okay.
like 20, 25 minutes long, something like that,
Uh-huh.
probably 25.
That's easy. Yeah.
Easy to do. And if you don't like it at that point,
I'll,
we can have a conversation about it here and I
yes, we'll
will,
have this special session
yeah,
here at the podcast.
yeah, a mini podcast.
Yeah.
And we can talk through it. But I feel like, I watched ET. And
Which was
so
like, what is that, 4 episodes in New Girl time? So,
it's honestly, it felt like a million episodes in the
okay,
time.
5. I'll give you 5.
Okay. But so yeah, I feel like you'll enjoy it.
We're trading hours here. Okay, how much time?
We are. We are. I really think you'll enjoy it. If you watch 12 and you don't, then and
Although I saw today someone put there was like this whole sale for Steven Spielberg for films, and I felt
Mhm.
like it was out of place. E.T. There was like Jaws, Jurassic Park, Schindler's List, E.T. It's like, wait a minute, one of these is not like the others.
Yeah. I don't know if I would do that. I mean, I obviously have very strong feelings about ET, but I
Right, there's
definitely
that too, I
wouldn't.
guess. Yeah,
I definitely wouldn't put it on that list. Um,
just funny that those are the films he's made, and it's like these are the
yeah,
hits. Yeah.
it's so funny. Um, yeah, thinking about my issues with movies, specific movies that you had mentioned, it just made me re-remember what you had mentioned earlier about Avatar.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Avatar, yeah.
I have, I
Way of
have,
the water.
I mean, I'm gonna go see it. Of course, I'm gonna go see it because I'm sure it's
Really?
gonna be good.
You
Yeah,
are? You actually have
yes,
interest in it?
I kind of. I'm
I
gonna go
really
see it
don't.
because it's gonna be good. I really liked the first one when it came out 35 years
Yeah,
ago.
exactly.
But I mean, I love Zoe Saldana. I love Kate Winslet. She's in this one. I like there are specific people who like actors that I greatly admire their talent. And so
Sure.
I'm gonna give whatever they do a chance at any
Hmm.
point. And then on top of it, like I did enjoy the first one when it came out. Jared made me rewatch it recently, even though I didn't want to. And there was actually a lot that I forgot about, quite a bit. And so I was like, okay, well, remembering these things, interesting. I'm still not jazzed about seeing it. I have my thoughts are, it looks like the exact same movie, only in water instead of in the sky.
Hmm.
Rather than flying on their fancy, I don't even remember what they're called, the fancy like pterodactyl things that they like connect their hair to in the sky, they have those in water. It's the exact same movie. The whole thing, same thing. But, and I mean, it's been what, like
And too
15
long.
years?
Way too
But,
long.
but I mean,
And
it
I think
does,
that's what finally made the studio say, okay, this is coming out this year. You know?
yeah. And I mean, I saw a thing that said like, it has to like, oh God, how much was it? Was it like $3 billion or something, or $1 billion that it has to make in order to actually make money, which is insane. And so he
It's
filmed
possible.
2 and 3 at the same
Worldwide.
time.
Oh,
So
really?
so we get at least those two. But then after that, I mean, he's like, there's going to be like 10 of them. No, there's not. You're not going to possibly make money on these if you're spending that
2009.
much.
2009 was the year of the first Avatar.
13 years ago. That's so dumb.
Going on 14.
That's, yeah, yes. That's insane.
Like quite literally at the line where it's like, okay, we've had how
Yeah.
many seasons of The New Girl and Parks and Rec and what else? What else is
I
like
mean,
Marvel,
The
all the Marvel
Office,
stuff?
the
The
whole Marvel
full
universe.
Avenger story.
Yeah. We're on phase 4, is it? 3?
And did you see Black Panther? Wakanda
Oh,
Forever?
oh my God, of course. I cried so hard. Jared and I made a bet about how long it was going to take me to cry. And it was about 25 seconds in. Not even
Yep,
that.
I understand.
During the credits where they show like Marvel, like the thing,
Mhm.
and it was all Chadwick, and I just started crying then. And then the moment that Shuri's on,
Mhm.
uh, and she's panicking in the thing, and I just
Mhm.
started bawling. And then I got my shit together, and then at one point in the middle, I was crying some more, and then at the very end, the scene with the fire
Mhm.
and the Rihanna song, which I favorited on Spotify because it's so good. I just bawled there too. We had to wait a minute to actually get up and leave because I was a mess. God, it was amazing. So good. What did you think?
uh, I uh, I unfortunately I was in a theater that was like the volume was like turned way down, so I had to go
No.
complain and be like, "Dude, your sound system sucks right now in
Yeah.
this theater." Because I was like, I know it's louder than this, and it's not hitting the volume where it should hit, for
Hmm.
some of these scenes, and I'm just so annoyed because we can hear each other breathing more than the film, and it was just that bad,
Which is, yeah.
which made a bad experience for the film. But anyways, that's the theater's fault. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, great film. It's just, yeah, I wish I could hear it. Could have
Yeah.
heard it. I'm sure it
Hmm.
was great, but it was on
Yeah.
mute half the time. So
Oh, that's so frustrating.
yeah. But anyways,
But
I did notice we were like confused because we could see we were obviously held to what we were seeing, and I'm like, is this Avatar characters? And I'm like,
oh my gosh, yes. I saw someone tweet about that too because it came out first, and they were like, okay, everyone who's seen this movie is going to watch the Avatar commercial or a movie
right.
and laugh and be like, okay, well, Black Panther did it better, like way
Yes.
better. And it's
Because when I
hilarious
look
because
at the
it's so
graphics
right.
from Avatar's trailer,
Uh-huh.
I'm like, this is kind of 2010-ish looking.
Yeah.
And then I watch Black Panther and it's like, this is 2022 stuff, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
James Cameron messed up.
I do wonder if is this really how Avatar is going to look? Or is it meant to be
I
in
think
3D?
so. I mean, it is coming out in 3D, which is also 2009-ish. Like James Cameron, I didn't know anything about him outside of the films he's done.
Yeah.
But was recently informed that apparently he's just a giant egomaniac douchebag, which is not surprising. Like, sure, I'm not gonna second guess. I'm not gonna be like, oh my God, really? Like, yeah, probably sounds right. But like when it comes to that, like you've got to keep up with things, especially if you're going to do this to people. If you're going to wait 14 years to give them something you were supposed to give people 1 to 2 years later, 2 years
Mm-hmm.
later, I could understand that. I could even understand 3 is the giant production. But then you're not going to like give them 2022 version of something. You're going to give them way earlier.
This literally reminds me of the film Waterworld that opened
Oh,
and failed because they cost so much to build the water stage
yeah.
and they didn't make anything back on the film, and it was a huge plop,
I
that's
will
what I
say that I
feel
loved
like
that
this is
movie.
going for. I'm sure it's great, but I mean it failed
Yeah.
at the box office and
Right. Yeah.
budget wise, I guess.
No, absolutely. I should rewatch that. That was a good movie. It was probably a terrible movie actually, and I was just a kid, and so I liked it. But
Just saying, I
yeah,
remember that, and I was a little kid at that time, and just hearing that,
yeah.
like it
No,
failed
it's true.
financially,
Like you can't invest
which
what
is
$1
fine.
billion or something if it's not
Yeah.
going to be up to the standards of the time that you're releasing it,
Right.
and then be a douchebag about it. Be like, nobody else can make this but me, and blah, blah, blah. Bruh, enough. Like, enough.
At least, yeah, because all those actors are now like exactly that, 14 years older. It's like,
Mhm. Well, and like,
are they
Zoe
even in the film
Saldana's,
anymore?
she's Gamora. She doesn't have time for this shit. Like, come on. Are you kidding me? She died and she's back again. Let's go. That's what I care about.
Right.
But yeah, I'm sure it'll be good. I'm gonna go see it. We'll see. I do think that Black Panther did it better, and I don't think that opinion's gonna change.
Yeah, you'll need to fill me in once you see it because I just don't have the interest. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm sure I'll see it at some point, maybe on hopefully Netflix
There you go. Yeah,
or something. I don't know.
for sure.
Probably won't see it in 3D though.
Oh God, no. 3D, terrible. It was terrible when it was a thing. It's not a thing anymore, and it's still terrible. Like, no, absolutely
I
not.
can't wait for this review. I have to set up your Rahana rant corner or something.
I really think that we should, honestly, because I have some hot takes that no one else probably agrees with.
True.
Although I'm sure that people listen to this and they fast forward because they're like, I can't with her. I can't with her. No
Well,
one cares.
For our
So,
finale, we should probably steer it back to film in Minnesota.
right, I will say first to get off of the negativity train, pun intended. A movie that I became obsessed with this year that came out, I don't remember if I talked about it or not, was Bullet Train.
Oh, okay.
Anyone who hasn't seen it, you should absolutely see it.
It's on
I
the queue.
genuinely have not been this excited and this like I don't even know how to explain it. Like I just haven't been this excited about a movie in years that I've seen. And I'm obsessed with Marvel, like obsessed. I can't explain how fun it was and how good it was and how funny and like intricate and it was amazing. I loved it. It's probably my favorite movie that's come out in years. We watched it in theaters. We just watched it again on Netflix. I'm probably going to watch it again soon. It is excellent, and I think everyone should see it. So that's my positive rant, if you will.
Yeah.
Whatever.
That reminded me, since it has Brad Pitt in it, I remember we saw She Said at the Twin Cities Film Fest.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Because Brad Pitt's company is Plan B, and that's what produced She Said. So, but anyways, that just made me think of that. I was like, yeah, we did see that. No one else will get to see that for a while. So
yeah, when you do though, be prepared for a tense situation because it's. I mean, it's obviously frustrating.
But they handled it pretty well, I think. I think they stuck to. It's kind of like Spotlight.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what it is. It's very well done. It's a tough subject to go with. But I think everyone did a great job. Carey Mulligan's amazing and was perfect for that. So, but yeah, film in Minnesota, man.
Yeah, here we are.
What a year!
What another year! 2022 is in the books.
Yep.
Go see Avatar or not.
Yeah, or not. Just stay home and watch Bullet Train on Netflix, and you'll be happier.
There you go. Yeah. But Netflix has a lot of they picked up Emily the Criminal, hint hint.
Yes.
That could be Oscar bound. I'm
exactly.
Just saying. Would that be amazing if we had the director on for an Oscar? At least Indie Spirit Award, maybe.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, for Aubrey.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, if not, I will honestly probably be kind of disappointed. But
well, she went to Gotham. She went to like that's kind of the pre-Oscars sort of thing. And, yeah. But she was at the Academy, so
she was exactly. Well, I hope everyone that's listening has had some excellent holidays, has some time off to spend with their family or their friends or even themselves. Get some rest, drink some wine or beer. Take a freaking just take some time for yourself and hydrate a lot just enjoy your life for a little bit, especially if you're not able to focus on that normally. Enjoy your new year. Be smart and safe. Don't make stupid New Year's resolutions, and just decide to do things that you're going to enjoy doing and make yourself happy. And until next year, this has been Film in Minnesota.